What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, do me a real quick favor. See that red subscribe button down below? Go ahead and push that and show your support for the channel. For those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So, something a little bit different. Sticking with the office setting. I mean, you can see how I've been dressing every day. More office-friendly fragrances lately. More days off and nights available to me are gonna get a little bit more daring. That's when I'll be able to wear the fun stuff. But not saying office-safe fragrances can't be fun, because I do love a good office fragrance. Something that's not real offensive, that's very appealing and just frankly smells good. And I got a lot of them. So there's gonna be more than one part to this. In no particular order, I'm bringing you 15 office fragrances. So like I said, there's more than one part to this. I may do it next week, I'm not sure. These are in no particular order. There's some designer, there's some niche. Nothing really all that heavy in the cheapy side, a little bit, but more cheapies in the next one. But let's go ahead and get right into it after this. So, jumping right off into it, like I said, no particular order, just 15 fragrances. And we're gonna jump right into it with one that I haven't talked about a whole lot on the channel. It's not really a projection monster. It's got a very beautiful plum note to it, and it's one that doesn't really get talked about much. It's from Gucci. It's Gucci Made to Measure. Very, very good fragrance. This is one that smells very put together. Goes very well with my current attire with the suit and tie. You can go a bit more casual than this with it, obviously. You can go t-shirt if you want, but this is one, like I said, does not get talked about that much. Smells very good. Not one that really projects heavy. That's what makes it such a good work fragrance. You gotta get really close to smell someone. This is more of a for you scent. You're just gonna smell clean and fresh and a little bit professional. It's Gucci Made to Measure. They're right there. And then my scent of the day today, one that I'm sure you're expecting to be on this list, is from Giorgio Armani, Acqua Profumo. This is my scent of the day today. I put it on at 7:30 this morning. It is currently 7:25. We actually got off a little early today. Yep, it's still going strong. Here we are 12 hours later. I don't know if it's just my skin or the batch of this Parfum concentration fragrance, but phenomenal performance. It's an all-day spray. I went 2 on my chest, 3 around the neck, and that was it. I 5 sprayed it. I've been smelling great all day long, and if you get your hands on it, you will too. Acqua Profumo. Put him right here. Another one, really good year-round if you're in a climate-controlled environment. If you're out in the heat a lot during the summer, it's really good for you then too. Very safe, very clean, little herbal green, citrusy up top. Probably the safest fragrance from the house. From John Varvatos, it's Artisan Pure. This has been dubbed the office fragrance from the house, and I totally get why. Like I said, citrusy up top, a little herbal green. Not a superstar performer. You can refresh throughout the day. 6-ish hours. You know, I know some people say they get about 8. I get around 6-ish, maybe 7. Which for the house, that's great performance, especially for a freshie. One that you can find at the rack stores. They've gotten a lot cheaper. You can get the 75 mLs in that $25 range. 125 mLs like this are right in that 35-ish, $40 range, I believe. And one that's worth trying out. Great for the office. Next, one that's relatively new to the collection. You gotta like rhubarb. It's a citrus freshie with a prominent rhubarb note. It's from Lacoste L'Homme. I have not tried the Intense. I've worn this one once. And I'm a fan. I gotta say, I'm a fan. Once the spring hits, this one's gonna really get a lot more rotation from me. I'm kind of on an iris kick right now. So I've been wearing a lot more iris-based fragrances, but I gotta tell you, this is a damn good fragrance. Lacoste did a great job with L'Homme. The rhubarb with all the orange, it's great for the office. I could see this garnering some compliments too. I'll test it out further as it starts to warm up a little bit more. That right there. And then one that I'm planning on wearing Saturday. I actually have not given a full wearing just yet. Speaking of being on an iris kick, iris is a prominent note in this fragrance. It is one of the only niche fragrances on this list. It's from Parfums de Marly. It's Galloway. We'll be wearing this one on Saturday. Very clean musk, relatively loud, not super loud, long lasting, little citrusy up top with a prominent powdery iris note. Can't wait to wear it. I've done some testing on my arm, but like I said, I haven't sprayed it on my neck and my chest and just went to work and see what was what. But on Saturday, this will be my game day fragrance. Looking forward to busting this one out. Then next, a personal favorite of mine. It's been on many lists since this channel started, and it should be on many lists for others as well, in my opinion. It's a classic, it's timeless, it's must-have, it's safe, it's one of the highest selling fragrances in history. It's from Hugo Boss, Boss Bottled, Boss number 6, the original eau de toilette, Mr. Apple Pie himself. Oh God, it's such a good scent. This is still one of my favorite fragrances. I love it. I have not been giving it its due. I need to wear it. I wore it last week out to shower, but I haven't been wearing it to work. And I absolutely need to. This one's so good. Every time I smell it, I fall in love all over again. You cannot go wrong with Boss Bottled. This is a big 200 ml bottle. You cannot go wrong with Boss Bottled. I'll stress it one more time. You cannot go wrong with Boss Bottled. Next, a reformulated classic that I still get pretty good performance out of. Soapy clean in the top with a aromatic tobacco kind of transition and dry down. It's a great fragrance. Great for suit and tie, great for the office. It's just great. It's Dolce & Gabbana, Pour Homme. This is a great fragrance. This is another one that's pretty much a must-have. You can get them for a good enough price. They're not going to break the bank. You can get a big bottle like this in that $40 range. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, depending on where you find it. But it's a great all-around fragrance. You can use this one for just about anything. This is very well put together. I don't see this one going anywhere anytime soon. This is a tried and true DNA from Dolce & Gabbana, and one of the best things they've ever put out. Dolce & Gabbana, Pour Homme. Next, let's bust out a car company. Former employer of mine, as far as the brand anyway, one specific dealership, but this is the Fahrenheit vibe without the petroleum note. It's like a lighter, more citrusy version, kind of a Fahrenheit Acqua, if you will. It's the original Mercedes-Benz. I don't know if you can see there. Get a little closer, see me through the glass, but now you can see where it's printed Mercedes-Benz. Very, very good fragrance. You can get these for $25 for this 120 ml bottle at Ross is where you can find them. A lot of people in TLTG Reviews Fragrance Lounge have been wearing them a lot. It's a great fragrance. Now, it's not everybody's gonna love it, but I'll tell you what, I do. In the summer, spring, summer, fall, this is a damn good fragrance. Climate control environment, year round. The Intense, even better. But this is a bit safer because the Intense is a bit bolder, a bit more loud. That's got the petroleum note. Not as heavy as Fahrenheit, but it's got the petroleum note from the violet. But Mercedes-Benz, the original, you cannot go wrong with this one in an office setting, and you can get it for a really good price. Let's go ahead and talk about this one. So this one, the name actually would make you think that it's not good for the office, but it's very woody. It's a little spicy. It's got a lot of vanilla. It's not sounding office friendly. I get it, but it's not a super powerhouse in projection. Solid 7-hour fragrance. I think it's perfect for the office. That's actually what I wore it for recently. It's from Dunhill. It's Desire Red. Another one you can get cheap. Big bottle. There's a 100 ml bottle. You can get it around 25 bucks. It's not the most unique DNA, but it's its own DNA for sure. Yeah, it's going to remind you of some other things, but it kind of does its own thing. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's one that you can go ahead and risk on a blind buy because you're not going to break the bank with it. And there's a really strong possibility you're going to enjoy it, and it'll get you through most of your day. Dunhill Desire Red is an underrated, cheapy gem, in my opinion. Got to throw that out there, because if you don't stress that it's your opinion, some people freak out, because there's trolls that watch this channel too now. Just saying. Moving on. Speaking of people that watch this channel, can't have this list without having this fragrance, because this is my favorite fragrance to wear a suit and tie with. For my interview for this job, I wore this fragrance. My first day on the job, I wore this fragrance. And I'm sure in the coming days or week or so, I'm going to wear this fragrance. It's Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. Shout out to you, Giorgio, who loves you. And who loves this fragrance? This guy right here. It's so good. It's so well put together. It's a true signature scent. As your body heat changes through the seasons, what's going to come off of your skin, the notes that are going to really pop, change. It's hard to say it's better in the cooler months or it's better in the heat, because it's going to change. It's going to be different. It's the highest quality of fragrance oils from around the globe. Kudos. Let me do the good for you clap like I did for Alt. Give George the good for you. Good for you, George. Good job. Because this is a superstar. This is the one. This and Acqua di Profumo are the two most Swiss Army knife fragrances, most versatile Swiss Army knife fragrances in my collection, because they literally can do it all. You can wear this with a t-shirt, you can wear this with a tuxedo. Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. It's just great. And then now, probably should have spread these out a little more. The next three are actually iris-based fragrances. I should have spread those out a little bit more. But let's jump right into it. New to the collection, not new to me because I've had 2 samples. Popular Office fragrance. It's a good way to go with iris. It's not too lipsticky, but maintains being powdery and woody with a little spice and a little citrus up top. Very office safe. It's from Dior. It's Dior Homme Eau. Get it where you can see it. Yep, Dior Homme Eau from men. Such a damn good fragrance. It really is. There's no way around this. Oh God, that smells so good. I debated on throwing this one in the rotation this week, but I ended up going with the regular Dior Homme instead. Big 5-ounce, 150 ml bottle. Gonna be getting plenty of wear from me. May even need a backup bottle, because probably gonna wear this one the most out of the Dior Hommes that I have. This is the best one for the office in my opinion, and it's gonna get a lot of wear. It's definitely has the moniker of the office Dior Homme for sure. Just look into it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Or if you've seen other reviewers' lists, it's usually on the office list. Dior Homme Eau, it's great. Then, speaking of O, we'll go into L'Eau, as in Prada L'Homme L'Eau. Another big 5-ounce bottle. Can you tell I like iris? So, this one brightens up quite a bit with a prominent ginger note. Not just the neroli and the iris and the extra powdery notes. That's the 2 things that separates this from the original, is you're getting extra powdery notes as well as that ginger note. This is beautiful. It's not the strongest performer, 5-6 hour fragrance. Projects solid, you know, arm's length for about 2 hours, decent little scent trail, but nothing super strong. You're not choking anybody out, you're not filling a room. It's not a 6-foot pusher, but this is one that's underrated and overlooked very often in the fragrance world. This is a hidden, not a hidden gem, but an underrated gem for sure. Prada L'Homme L'Eau is probably a better office fragrance than the original. Yeah, I said it. And speaking of the original, it's right here, Prada L'Homme, because you may think it's redundant to have them both, but it's actually not, because they don't smell exactly the same. This one has violet and more spices. That one has ginger and more powder. This one works a little bit better in the cooler weather. That one's more hot weather. It's not redundant to have them both, I promise you. But this one, it's worth its weight in gold. It's the most popular one. And I absolutely see why. This is one of my happy fragrances. Smelling this just makes me happy. It's a great fragrance, no doubt. One that I strongly advise you test out and try if you haven't already, because this is a great way to dip your toe into iris, because it's a soapy iris. Nobody does soapy iris better than Prada, for sure. And then last, but most certainly not least, You gotta have a Bleu de Chanel on a list like this. Yeah, it's the only one I have, but in my opinion, it's the best one. That's why it's the only one I have. It's Bleu de Chanel Parfum. The warmest, the woodiest, the classiest. The weakest projector, but the longest lasting for sure. It's warming, it's beautiful, it's rich, it's bold. It's Bleu de Chanel Parfum. So, until next time, guys, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. Are these some of the fragrances that you love wearing to work? Because they're definitely some of the fragrances that I love wearing to work. Like I said, this was part 1 of 2. Part 2 will be sometime next week, probably. There'll be a lot more cheapies mixed in on that one. Maybe if there's something you didn't see on this list that you're shocked wasn't on there, be patient, because it may be on the other list. But until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on some of these and you give them a spray now, you'll probably thank me later. Have a good one, guys.